Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the exciting developments unfolding in Port Charles, where romance, intrigue, and unexpected twists await our beloved characters. Alexis Davis in danger. Jen Sidwell appears to be orchestrating a sinister plot involving Alexis Davis. His scheme seems to revolve around using a dagger for a potential crime and framing Alexis for it. The coming weeks will likely reveal more details about this dangerous situation as Sidwell takes further steps in his frame job, putting Alexis in a precarious position that could have serious consequences for her future in Port Charles. Christina's concerns and Sonny's secret. Christina Corinthos Davis will find herself demanding answers, possibly after witnessing her father, Sonny Corinthos, experiencing what appears to be a medical episode. This incident may prompt Sonny to finally confess about his heart issues to his daughter. This revelation could significantly impact their relationship and potentially affect Sonny's standing in the Port Charles community as his vulnerability becomes known to more people. Trina's special birthday. A special birthday celebration awaits Trina Robinson, with Kai Taylor likely to be the one presenting her with a meaningful gift. This moment could mark an important development in their relationship, potentially bringing them closer together as Trina navigates the complexities of young adulthood in Port Charles. Lois Cerullo's adoption dilemma. Panic will strike Lois Cerullo when Martin's case notes leak, threatening to expose sensitive information about Giovanni Gio Palmieri. Though Martin may attempt to reassure Lois that Joe's name wasn't included in the notes, her concerns will persist. The situation becomes increasingly complicated as Brooklyn and potentially Dante begin questioning Lois about the adoption details, forcing her into a difficult position as she struggles to maintain the secret of Joe's parentage for as long as possible. Elizabeth and Lucky's rekindled romance. Elizabeth Baldwin and Lucky Spencer's feelings for each other continue to intensify as they reconnect. With Lucky's recovery progressing well, the possibility of their relationship becoming physical emerges. However, their romantic plans face an unexpected interruption, possibly from Aidan Weber, adding another layer of complexity to their rekindling romance. Nina's new flirtation. At Crimson, Nina Reeves will engage in flirtatious interactions with Jeffrey Beckett, a wildlife journalist who becomes involved with the magazine's new nature and travel series. The chemistry between them will be evident as Nina turns on her charm. When Ava Jerome arrives seeking a favor from Nina, she too will have an opportunity to chat with Jeffrey, creating an interesting dynamic among the three characters. Lucas Jones meets someone new. Lucas Jones is set to encounter an intriguing individual who may become his new romantic interest. This meeting comes at an opportune time, following Brad Cooper's unsuccessful attempt at rekindling their relationship. This fresh connection could open a new chapter in Lucas's personal life, offering him a chance at happiness after previous disappointments. Carly and Jack Brennan's second chance. After a period of reflection, Carly Spencer will re-evaluate her feelings, potentially opening the door to giving Jack Brennan another chance. The question remains whether Brennan can successfully win Carly over and convince her to restart their romance. This potential reconciliation adds another dimension to Carly's already complicated life in Port Charles. Valentin's desperate situation. Feeling that his luck is running out, Valentin Cassadine will bid farewell to his daughter Charlotte Cassadine. The situation becomes increasingly dire as Anna Devane and Jason Morgan pursue Valentin, though their plan encounters several obstacles. The WSB's closing in on Valentin further complicates matters, raising questions about whether he'll manage to escape. Meanwhile, Jason and Brennan remain committed to bringing Charlotte safely back to Port Charles, regardless of the challenges they face. The Quartermaine family drama. Significant drama unfolds on the Quartermaine property when Tracy Quartermaine calls the police on Drew Quartermaine and Martin Gray. While someone will face arrest, the question remains whether Drew might turn the tables on Tracy, potentially resulting in her arrest instead. The aftermath of this confrontation leads to Drew facing Carly Spencer's anger, as she berates him for inviting Willow Corinthos to move in while Michael Corinthos continues his recovery. Willow, still believing in Drew's inherent goodness, rushes to his defense, unaware of the troubling secrets he's concealing that will eventually lead to her disillusionment. Portia's difficult decision. Portia Robinson finds herself in a challenging position as she makes a plea to Curtis Ashford before taking steps to hide her trail. With Rick Lansing delivering concerning news, Portia may feel compelled to comply with Drew's blackmail demands. This decision could have far-reaching implications for her relationships and standing in the community. Lulu's ultimatum and family revelations. Lulu Spencer maintains her stance regarding the ultimatum given to Brooklyn Quartermaine, making it increasingly likely that Dante Falconeri will discover the truth about having a second son. In the aftermath of this revelation, Dante confides in Harrison Chase, who must process this unexpected information. Chase, currently unaware that Dante fathered the child Brooklyn placed for adoption, will soon learn this significant piece of news, adding another layer to the complex web of relationships in Port Charles. Next, we will learn about the intriguing possibility of a new romance brewing in Port Charles that has fans buzzing with excitement and speculation. Jocelyn's journey, what lies ahead? The winds of change are blowing through Port Charles, particularly for Jocelyn Jacks, who stands at the precipice of significant life transformations. As she navigates this new chapter, viewers can anticipate a series of stunning developments that will reshape her trajectory in ways few could have predicted. The coming weeks promise to unveil revelations that could fundamentally alter not just her personal relationships but her entire worldview. Jocelyn's resilience has always been one of her defining characteristics, inherited perhaps from her mother Carly's indomitable spirit and her father Jax's strategic mind. This resilience will be put to the ultimate test as she faces challenges that extend far beyond the typical trials of young adulthood. Her decision to embark on this new career path with the WSB represents not merely a professional choice but a profound statement about who she's becoming in the aftermath of recent tragedies. Sources close to the production have hinted that upcoming storylines will see Jocelyn confronting ethical dilemmas that force her to question her most deeply held values. The idealism that Vaughn perceives in her might indeed be challenged, but it could also prove to be her greatest strength in a world where cynicism often prevails. As she continues to process her grief over Dex while simultaneously stepping into this dangerous new role, viewers will witness the evolution of a character who refuses to be defined by her losses. Jack Brennan's disapproval and potential consequences. The shadow of Jack Brennan looms large over Jocelyn's budding connection with Vaughn. As her superior within the organization, Brennan would undoubtedly view any romantic entanglement between his agents with stern disapproval, considering it a dangerous distraction and a breach of professional protocol. His military background and by-the-book approach to operations leave little room for the messy complications of workplace romance. Brennan's character, portrayed with steely determination and unwavering dedication to mission objectives, has established himself as someone who prioritizes operational success above all else. His relationship with Jocelyn has thus far been characterized by a grudging respect for her potential tempered by frustration at her inexperience. Any hint of romantic involvement between Jocelyn and Vaughn would likely trigger not just disapproval but potentially severe consequences for both parties. Industry insiders suggest that upcoming episodes might explore the tension between Brennan's strict adherence to protocol and the undeniable chemistry developing between his subordinates. This conflict could create a fascinating power dynamic, especially if Brennan finds himself torn between maintaining professional standards and recognizing that sometimes emotional connections can strengthen rather than compromise a team's effectiveness in the field. The grieving process, Dex's shadow. The ghost of Dex Heller continues to haunt Jocelyn's emotional landscape, creating a complex backdrop for any new romantic possibilities. His tragic death left not just a void in her life but unresolved questions and feelings that complicate her ability to move forward. Viewers have witnessed Jocelyn's grief manifest in various ways, from moments of quiet reflection to sudden bursts of reckless behavior that suggest she's still processing her loss. Psychological experts often note that grief doesn't follow a linear path, and Jocelyn's journey exemplifies this reality. Her decision to join the WSB could itself be interpreted as a response to Dex's death, perhaps an attempt to reclaim control in a world that suddenly seems chaotic and unpredictable. This context makes any potential romance with Vaughn more than just a new relationship, it becomes part of her healing process. The writers appear to be crafting a nuanced exploration of how we move on after loss without betraying the memory of those we've loved. If Jocelyn does begin to develop feelings for Vaughn, viewers can expect to see her grapple with guilt, questioning whether she's ready or whether it's appropriate to feel attraction so soon after Dex's passing. This internal conflict could provide some of the season's most emotionally resonant moments. Undercover romance, mission possibilities. The espionage setting of their work environment creates natural opportunities for Jocelyn and Vaughn to explore their chemistry under the guise of professional necessity. Industry sources have hinted at upcoming storylines involving undercover operations where the pair might need to pose as a couple, creating that classic soap opera scenario where pretense gradually gives way to genuine emotion. Such missions would place them in high-pressure situations requiring absolute trust and coordination, conditions that often accelerate emotional bonding. Imagine them navigating a high-society gala, Jocelyn in an elegant gown with Vaughn in a tailored tuxedo, maintaining their cover while exchanging meaningful glances across a crowded room. Or perhaps a more dangerous scenario, a safe house where they're forced to remain in close quarters for days, their professional boundaries slowly eroding with each passing hour. The first kiss between them, should it occur, would likely emerge from such a scenario. Perhaps a moment of heightened tension where the line between performance and reality blurs. What begins as part of their cover could quickly transform into an authentic expression of feelings they've been struggling to suppress, creating that pivotal moment soap fans live for. Fan reactions, the audience weighs in. Since Bryce Durfee's debut as Vaughn, social media platforms have been ablaze with fan reactions. The audience seems divided, with some viewers immediately embracing the potential pairing while others remain loyal to Jocelyn's relationship with Dex. This division reflects the show's success in creating genuinely compelling character dynamics that inspire passionate viewer investment. Fan forums have been particularly active, with detailed analyses of body language and dialogue between the characters. Some viewers have created elaborate theories about where the storyline might be heading, while others have produced fan art and fiction exploring possible romantic scenarios. This level of engagement speaks to the chemistry that's already apparent on screen. The production team closely monitors these fan reactions, sometimes adjusting storylines based on audience response. If the initial chemistry between Jocelyn and Vaughn continues to generate positive feedback, the writers might accelerate their romantic arc. Conversely, if viewers seem resistant to the pairing, the relationship might remain in ambiguous territory for longer, allowing the audience time to warm to the possibility. Chemistry analysis, the fighting scenes. The March 7th episode provided viewers with their first substantial glimpse of Jocelyn and Vaughn's dynamic, particularly through their training fight scenes. These physical encounters were choreographed with deliberate undertones of attraction, a common technique in action-oriented storytelling where combat becomes a form of sublimated desire. When Vaughn tackled Jocelyn to the floor, the moment was charged with more than just the adrenaline of combat training. The positioning, the prolonged eye contact, the slight hesitation before disengaging, all classic visual cues in soap opera language signaling potential romantic interest. The moment when his hair dangled toward her face created an intimate visual frame that isolated them from the surrounding environment, creating a private moment within a professional context. Jocelyn's counterattack, particularly the comical hit to Vaughn's groin, introduced an element of playfulness to their dynamic. This kind of physical comedy often serves as a way to diffuse sexual tension while simultaneously acknowledging its presence. Her ability to take him down demonstrated that despite their power differential in the organization, she sees herself as his equal, an essential foundation for any compelling romantic pairing. Actor chemistry, behind the scenes. Bryce Durfee's interview with Soap Opera Digest offers fascinating insight into the off-screen dynamic that informs what viewers see on their screens. His comment about having instant chemistry with Eden McCoy suggests a natural rapport between the actors that translates effectively to their characters. This kind of authentic connection can't be manufactured and often becomes the X factor that determines whether a potential couple resonates with audiences. Eden McCoy, who has demonstrated remarkable range and depth in her portrayal of Jocelyn through numerous storylines, brings a wealth of emotional history to this new dynamic. Her ability to convey complex emotions with subtle facial expressions and body language makes her an ideal scene partner for Durfee, who brings a fresh energy to the cast as Vaughn. The production team has likely noticed this chemistry during filming and may be adjusting future scripts to capitalize on it. Directors might choose camera angles and blocking that emphasize their physical proximity, while writers could craft dialogue with increasing levels of subtext and double meaning. This collaborative process between actors, writers, and directors is how the most memorable soap couples are born. Character analysis: Vaughn is Dex 2.0? Some viewers have already begun drawing parallels between Vaughn and Dex Heller, noting similarities in their dangerous professions and brooding intensity. However, this comparison oversimplifies what appears to be a deliberately different character design. While Dex represented danger and rebellion, Vaughn embodies discipline and structure, qualities that might actually be more challenging and ultimately transformative for Jocelyn. Vaughn's assessment of Jocelyn as too idealistic reveals his own worldview, one shaped by experiences we've yet to learn about. This perspective creates natural dramatic tension between them, as her optimism collides with his pragmatism. Unlike Dex, who often operated outside the law, Vaughn works within an established system, believing in its purposes even while recognizing its flaws. This fundamental difference creates a different kind of attraction dynamic. With Dex, Jocelyn was drawn to the thrill of breaking rules. With Vaughn, she might find herself attracted to his principled dedication to a cause greater than himself. This evolution in her romantic interests would reflect her own maturation and changing priorities in the wake of recent events. The mentor relationship: power dynamics. The mentor-student dynamic between Vaughn and Jocelyn introduces compelling power dynamics that complicate any potential romance. As her handler, Vaughn holds formal authority over Jocelyn, creating ethical questions about consent and professional boundaries that the show might explore. This imbalance creates both obstacles and dramatic tension should their relationship evolve beyond the professional. However, soap operas have a long tradition of navigating such power imbalances, often by establishing that the seemingly less powerful character possesses unique strengths that level the playing field. Jocelyn's intelligence, determination, and moral clarity might prove to be qualities that Vaughn comes to rely on, gradually transforming their relationship from hierarchical to complementary. The training process itself provides a natural narrative arc for this evolution. As Jocelyn progresses from novice to competent agent, the power differential between them will naturally diminish. Viewers might witness Vaughn's growing respect for her abilities paralleling his growing personal attraction, a dual development that would make their potential romance feel earned rather than arbitrary. What's next? Predictions and possibilities. As Jocelyn continues her WSB training, viewers can anticipate increasingly complex interactions between her and Vaughn. Their professional relationship will likely be tested by a high-stakes mission that forces them to rely completely on each other, potentially in life-or-death circumstances that accelerate emotional bonding. The show might also introduce a rival for Jocelyn's affections or a figure from Vaughn's past who complicates their dynamic. Such triangulation is a classic soap opera technique for extending romantic tension and creating obstacles for potential couples to overcome. This could take the form of a new recruit who shares Jocelyn's idealism or perhaps a former partner of Vaughn's who returns with unresolved history. Whatever path the writers choose, the groundwork has clearly been laid for a slow-burn romance that could become one of General Hospital's most compelling couples if developed with patience and nuance. The combination of professional danger, emotional vulnerability, and undeniable chemistry creates fertile ground for storytelling that could sustain viewer interest for months or even years to come. As Port Charles continues to evolve and its characters face new challenges, the potential romance between Jocelyn and Vaughn represents just one fascinating thread in the rich tapestry of storylines that keep viewers returning day after day. Whether they ultimately surrender to temptation or maintain professional boundaries, their dynamic promises to deliver the emotional complexity and dramatic tension that defines the very best of daytime television. Stay tuned to our channel for more updates as this intriguing relationship continues to develop, along with all the other exciting storylines unfolding in Port Charles.